The rain was really coming down against the windows of Sterling Global Industries. Olivia Morgan was sitting there looking at the reports, for the third time that day. She was typing away on her computer, fixing mistakes that other people had not seen and getting things ready before they were even needed. This was her life now, a life of numbers and calendars, trying to keep up with the demands of her boss, a man who did not seem to need much sleep, just a lot of drive and energy. Olivia Morgan worked hard to stay on top of things for Sterling Global Industries. James Sterling stood at his office window. Looked out at the city. He was 32 years old. He had a lot of things. He had a company. It was really big. This company was built on things like buildings and technology investments. James Sterling was also well known, and people all over the world knew who he was. He could go anywhere. People would know his name. Lately James Sterling has been feeling like something is missing. He would win deals and people would talk about him. He would be on the cover of magazines. Go to fancy parties. It all felt like he was just pretending to be someone else. It felt like he was playing a part that someone else had created for James Sterling. Olivia, do you have the projections for the Singapore deal? His voice broke the silence they had settled into over the past 2 years. The papers are already on your desk. They include the translation of the contract terms and some information about the people you will meet week. She did not look up from her computer. Her dark hair fell forward, hiding her face. James smiled despite himself. The woman always thought 5 steps ahead of James. What would James do without the woman? They will likely hire 3 people to replace me. They will still miss half of their appointments. There was a hint of warmth in her voice, the kind that only came out when they were alone with each other, talking to each other, the two of them, and that is when her voice sounded like that, so warm and nice, like the woman she really was, not the woman people saw when they were around other people, but the real her, the one who only came out when she was with him, and that is what made her voice sound so warm and nice, the fact that she was being herself, and that is what he liked about her, the fact that she could be herself around him, and that made him feel happy, and that is why he liked being around her, because she was a nice person, a really nice person, and he liked that about her. He liked the way she sounded when they were alone, just the two of them talking to each other. The elevator made a sound saying someone was there. Derek Hammond walked in like he owned the place. He seemed like the kind of person who always got what he wanted. His fancy suit was really expensive, it probably cost more than what Olivia paid for rent every month. Derek Hammond made sure everyone saw how nice his suit was. Sterling, I am so glad I finally found you. I have been trying to get in touch with you all day. Derek looked past Olivia like she was just a chair or something. He said, I got your response for the Lighthouse Gala that is happening Saturday. This is going to be a night, Sterling. The Lighthouse Gala will have every person in the city there, Sterling. James went back to his desk. Sat down in the old leather chair. This chair used to be his father's. James said, I know what is going on. My company is paying for half of the event. So you are going to bring someone. I really want to know who the lucky lady is that you are bringing. Please tell me you finally asked Catherine Chen out. Catherine Chen is a great person, and her family has a lot of money and property in Manhattan. They own a lot of buildings and things in Manhattan. I think Catherine Chen is a woman. James looked over at Olivia, who was sitting quietly at her desk. James had been thinking about what he was going to do for a time. He thought about it every day. James wanted to do what he thought was right. James was going to take Olivia. Actually, I'm taking Olivia. The silence that followed was really quiet. Derek's face changed from looking confused to not believing it. Then he almost looked like he was laughing. Your assistant, he said. You have got to be kidding me. I'm completely serious. Derek laughed, it was in sharp sound. This made Olivia's shoulders get all tight. James, the first, no, you like to do things your way, but this is a really bad idea. The Lighthouse Gala is a deal. It is not some party where you can show up and be casual. There will be people there, like senators and the heads of big companies. Also, there will be families who have a lot of money and have been going to this event for a long time. You want to go with your secretary from work? Executive assistant, James said, his voice getting colder. And yes, I do that, James said, talking about being an assistant. Does she even have a dress that's good enough for this kind of thing? Can she figure out which fork to use for the salad and which one to use for the dessert? Do you know what people are going to say about this? Derek was really getting into his talk now, walking back and forth in the office. They are going to think you are having some kind of problem. The people you are competing with are going to see that you are not strong. The women who are going to be there, they are going to say bad things about her before they even finish eating the first course. Derek said that the women at the event will tear Derek's companion apart, and that will happen before the appetizers are even served. Derek thinks that the competitors will smell weakness, and that will be very bad for Derek's business. The women will criticize her. That will make things worse for Derek. Olivia got up fast and started putting her things together, like her tablet and some papers. She said, I have to go check on the food for the meeting with the people in charge. She sounded very polite. James noticed that her eyes looked a little strained and her hands were shaking slightly as she walked by Derek without even looking at him or James. Olivia was heading to check on the catering arrangements for the board meeting. When the door closed behind her, James looked at Derek in a way that made big strong men think about doing something bad. You are out of line, James said to Derek. James was talking about what Derek did. James did not like it. The way James looked at Derek was very serious. It made people feel uncomfortable. James was very upset with Derek. I want to save you from yourself. Look, I understand. The woman is attractive in a way. She is smart and funny. I am sure she laughs at your jokes. There is a big difference between having a crush on someone you work with and taking them to a big event like this. Think about your job. Think about the company. You have to think about what people will say when they see you with this woman at the event of the season. The woman is great. You have to think about your position and the company. James said this quietly. He thinks about the company every day. The company is always on his mind. Maybe that is the problem with the company. The company is what he thinks about all the time. After Derek left, talking about fixing the problems and what people think, James sat in his office. It was getting darker. He could see Olivia at her desk through the glass wall. She was sitting up straight while she worked. James had known Olivia for 2 years now. He had seen her deal with problems from other countries and even his own bad days. She always handled everything with an attitude. Now James realized that he did not really know much about Olivia's life outside of the office. That evening Olivia sat in the apartment she shared with her mother in Queens, staring at her phone. James had sent a message an hour ago asking if they could talk about the gala invitation. Olivia had not responded to James. The thing is, Olivia found it really hard to explain to James that his casual invitation to the gala had brought up a lot of memories for Olivia. These were wounds that Olivia had spent a lot of time trying to get, and now James and the gala invitation were making Olivia think about all that stuff again. Patricia Morgan was standing in the doorway. She was leaning on her cane. She had been using that cane since she got hurt in an accident 3 years ago. That accident was really bad. It made her stop being a nurse. Patricia Morgan looked at her daughter. Her eyes were still really sharp. You could see the worry in them. Even though her hair was gray now, her eyes were still sharp. Patricia Morgan said, "You are thinking loud, sweetheart. Mr. Sterling asked me to go with him to the Lighthouse Gala. He wanted me to be there with him at the Lighthouse Gala. I was supposed to go to the Lighthouse Gala with Mr. Sterling." Patricia's eyebrows went up. She said, "That is a big deal, that is a great honor, the honor." Olivia said that was a mistake. Did you hear what Olivia said? The Lighthouse Gala is the event. This is where important people in the city go to meet each other. They will look at Olivia. They will know exactly what the Lighthouse Gala means for Olivia. They will know where Olivia comes from, at the Lighthouse Gala. Where exactly do you come from? Patricia got up. Sat down beside her daughter on the old sofa. The sofa was really worn out. Had been around, for a very long time. It was not as nice as it used to be a time ago. Patricia sat down. Looked at her daughter. She wanted to know where her daughter came from. Why, Mom, I am the one who helps him out. I make sure he gets his clothes from the cleaner and his coffee is just right. I do not fit in with the people he knows. I am the person who takes care of things for him, like picking up his dry cleaning and getting his coffee just the way he likes it. I am the help. That is all I am. Patricia was really quiet, for a long time. Then she said, Do you remember what I told you when you got that letter saying you got into Columbia? Olivia felt her throat get all tight. Do not bring that up. You said we could not go. That we could not afford it, that I needed you here after the accident, that it was something that could never happen. I told you that the only things that are really impossible are the things we are too scared to try. Patricia took her daughter's hand. You got into that university because of your work, just like you have gotten everything else you wanted since then. The question is not whether you should be at that gala, because you definitely should be at the gala. The question is not about the gala, it is about you and what you want to do with your life, and the gala is one part of that, and you have worked hard to get to this point, to get to the gala, and you deserve to be at the gala. The question is why you are still acting like you are not as good as you really are. You are pretending to be less than what you are. The question is about you. Why you do this. That night Olivia stood in front of her closet. She was looking for something. She pushed aside the clothes she wears to work. These clothes are what she wears every day. In the back of her closet she found her diploma from Columbia University. It says Master of Business Administration on it. She also got cum laude. Olivia had put it away when she got the job as an assistant. She knew that having a lot of qualifications is not always a thing. Sometimes it is better to not have many qualifications. Employers want people who can do the job. They do not want someone who's better than them. They want someone who can help them, not someone who can take their place. Olivia found her diploma. She thought about this. She thought about why she hid Columbia University diploma. James was really different. He always asked for her thoughts on business deals. He thought what she said was important. He trusted her to make decisions. This was not about getting him coffee or keeping his schedule. That is why going out with him seemed like an idea. It made her think about her job and her feelings for James. Her feelings for James were getting complicated. She had tried to keep them separate from her work. Her phone buzzed with another message from James. He said, Olivia, please. Just coffee tomorrow morning, before work? James needs to explain something to Olivia. She sat at her computer. Typed out 3 different things, but then she deleted them. After that she finally decided on what to say. Her message was, Brewster's Cafe, 7 a.m. The morning James got to the coffee shop early. This was a deal for him because he always knows what he is doing and when. When Olivia walked in she had on jeans and a sweater. She usually wears clothes to the office. Today she looked really young and different, from the Olivia James sees every day at the office. James was surprised by how different she looked when she was not dressed up for work. The coffee shop was small. James was happy to see Olivia walk in. Olivia was the Olivia James knew from the office. Today she seemed like a completely different person. The man said thank you for meeting him as they sat down in a corner booth. She said, I almost did not come. He liked that she was always honest with him. There were no games. No pretending with her. I want to say sorry to you. I should have talked to you about this when we were alone, not in front of Derek. That was really thoughtless of me. I made things awkward for you. I feel bad that I did not think about how you would feel when I said that, in front of Derek. I made a mistake by not being more considerate of your feelings. I made you feel uncomfortable. Olivia wrapped her hands around her coffee mug. She looked at James. Said, "Why did you ask me, James? I do not want to hear that it is because I know all the guests at the party or because I can help manage the party. I want to know the reason why you asked me, James. What is the real reason you asked me to do this, James?" He looked into her eyes, her brown eyes that can see right through anything that is not real. When I think about that night, I think about walking into a room full of people who are all playing their own parts like they are acting in a big play. You are the person I want to be, with me. You are the person who can make it feel like it is really happening, not like we are just going through the motions. The words hung between them more honest than either of them had expected. Olivia felt the walls she had built around herself starting to break down. She said, "You do not know what you are asking. Those people, Derek and his friends, they will look at Olivia. See exactly what Olivia is. The scholarship kid, from Queens who does not know how to use the fork. I know a lot about forks that might be useful." The corner of James' mouth went up a bit. "This is not funny. People will judge you for bringing me to this place. They will ask questions about the decisions you make. They will wonder if you are really the person to be in charge of the company. People will question your judgment. Maybe even think you are not fit to run the company. Let them." James leaned forward. "Olivia, I have spent my life doing what other people wanted me to do. I did what my father wanted, what society wanted, what people like Derek wanted. They all thought they knew what was best for me. I am really tired of it now. I am tired of acting like it's important to me what they think. What really matters to me is what makes me happy. I want to do what makes me happy, not what makes them happy. Olivia, I am tired of pretending that what they think is more important than what I want. What is it that makes a person happy?" The question came out before she had a chance to think about it. She was really asking, what makes someone like her happy? The question just slipped out before she could catch herself. "I really like it when we are together. You know, those times when it's just us working late on a tough problem or disagreeing about the best way to handle a negotiation. When you tell me my ideas are not good or when you do not agree with what I think. When you laugh at something and forget to act serious for a little while." He stopped talking for a moment. "I feel happy when I am with you." Olivia felt her heart beating fast against her ribs. This was not a situation. It was the kind of thing that could mess up everything she had done. "James, the first work for you," she said. "There are rules about things like this. We have to think about power and being professional." Olivia thought about the rules. How they applied to her and James. "James, the first work for you. We need to remember that," she said again. "You are right. If you say no, if you tell me that this thing crosses a line that the gala dates are not comfortable with, then we forget this conversation about the gala dates ever happened. You remain my assistant for the gala, I find another date for the gala, and nothing changes about the gala dates." He took a breath. "If you feel like you want to say yes, do not say yes just because I am your boss. Say yes because you feel something for me too. I am asking you to take a chance on the feeling you have for me, on the feeling that I have for you, on us. I really want you to take a chance on me and see where this feeling takes us." The coffee shop was really busy around them. People were getting their morning coffee. They did not notice what was happening in the corner booth. Olivia thought about all the reasons she should say no to James. She thought about what Derek had said, about how it could hurt her at work and how people might talk about her. She also thought about how sad she would be when James went back to his life and left her behind. Olivia was thinking about James and how he would eventually leave her. She also thought about what her mother said. Her mother's words were about dreams that seem impossible. The courage it takes to go after them. She thought about James and the feelings she had for James for 2 years, feelings that she kept hidden from everyone. She would watch James from across the office. She would wonder what would happen if she ever told James how she felt about James. She said that she needs a dress. Her voice was very quiet, you could hardly hear her. James' face. He got a big smile. This smile made James look a lot younger. He said, "You can have whatever you want. The sky is the limit, for you." "No, Olivia." She shook her head. She was really firm about this. "I will buy my dress," Olivia told him. "This is not, like that movie Pretty Woman. I am not some kind of project for you to fix up and make look nice. If I am going to do this thing, then I am doing it the way I want to do it. I am doing it on my terms," Olivia said. The respect in his eyes made her feel like she was doing the thing. "That is fair enough," she said. Then she added, "At least let me pay for the hair and makeup because the company asked you to come to this work event." Nice loophole, counselor. As they left the cafe together, neither noticed Derek Hammond across the street, phone in hand, already texting their mutual friends about the cozy breakfast meeting. The games had begun, whether James and Olivia were ready or not. The week before the Lighthouse Gala was a time. Olivia was really nervous and excited. She worked harder than she usually does. She wanted to keep herself busy so she would not think about all the things that were worrying her. Every time her phone rang with a text from one of Derek's friends who had gotten her phone number, Olivia thought about why she agreed to go to the Lighthouse Gala in the first place. She thought about the Lighthouse Gala a lot. The Lighthouse Gala was really important to her. James saw that she was really stressed out, you could tell by the way her shoulders were all tense. The upcoming event was making her nervous. Every time someone talked about it, she would jump a bit. On Thursday afternoon, James found her in the file room. She was supposed to be sorting through contracts. Really, she was just trying to get away from all the people talking about her behind her back at the office. James knew that the upcoming event was still on her mind, and it was pretty clear that the upcoming event was causing her a lot of anxiety. He said this softly, and he was standing with his back against the door. He wanted to know if the person had thoughts about something. Olivia did not turn around. 10th thoughts, actually. Maybe 20th becomes. Olivia did not turn around. I am having thoughts actually. Maybe I am having thoughts about this. However, a more human touch would be. Olivia did not turn around. To be honest, I am having thoughts about this actually. Maybe I am even having thoughts about it. We can still cancel if we want to. I really meant what I said about there being no pressure on this. She finally faced him. He saw the strength in her eyes that had first caught his attention 2 years ago. I am not canceling, she said. I just needed a moment away from everyone. They were all treating me like I am about to do something bad because of him, because of the social things that people say about social suicide on his behalf, on the things that he does. James said, it is on our behalf. We are doing this together, James told them. James wanted to make that clear, so he said it again. We are in this thing together, James said. On Saturday evening things felt like they were going to happen. Know what? Olivia was in her bedroom, which is now the place where she hangs out. She was looking at herself in the mirror. She felt surprised and kind of amazed. The dress she picked out was a blue color. It was not fancy. It looked nice. It made her feel grown up. The dress had a design, which made it look fancy without looking like it was trying too hard. Olivia had spent a lot of money on the dress. Now that she saw herself in it, she understood why her mother thought it was a good idea to spend that much money. The dress was really worth it, Olivia thought, looking at herself in the midnight dress. Patricia was standing in the doorway. Her eyes were full of tears that she had not cried yet. She said, "You look like a dream, baby girl." Patricia looked at the baby girl. Her eyes were shining with tears that she was trying not to cry. The baby girl looked very nice. Patricia thought she was beautiful. Patricia said again, "You look like a dream, baby girl." Olivia said, "I look terrified." The thing is, she was actually smiling. Olivia was. That is what mattered, Olivia and her smile. You look like yourself, not the person you are when you are being formal. Patricia moved closer, to her daughter. Fixed a strand of her hair. Whatever happens tonight, remember that you deserve to be. You did not get in just because James invited you. Because of all the things you have done and the kind of person you are, everything you have accomplished and everything you are. The limousine that James sent got to her place at 7. Olivia gave her mother a kiss on the cheek. Then she went down the old steps of their apartment building. She knew that the neighbors were looking at her from their windows. Mrs. Rodriguez from 3B even waved at her. Gave her a thumbs up. This made Olivia laugh a little, even though she was feeling really nervous about the limousine James sent. Olivia was thinking about the limousine James sent. She was wondering where it would take her. James was at his place in Manhattan. He was feeling really down about himself. The fancy cufflinks his father gave him were weighing him down, reminding him of what his family expects from him. His phone would not stop ringing with messages from Derek and other people, all trying to get him to change his mind about who he wants to be with. James just felt stuck with the platinum cufflinks on his wrists, thinking about what his family thinks he should do. His older sister Rebecca had sent him a message earlier that said, "You are really going to do this experiment? The board is already talking about the experiment." Father would have never liked the experiment. James' father was not there, he had been away for 3 years now. James was really tired of doing things the way his father wanted. His father's rules were still being followed. James did not think this was fair. He wanted to make his decisions, not live by the rules of a man who was no longer alive, his father. The Lighthouse Gala took place at the Vanderbilt estate on Long Island. This is a big house that people use for special events when they want something very fancy. The Lighthouse Gala is a deal. James was driving to the Lighthouse Gala. As his car got close to the entrance of the Vanderbilt estate, he saw a lot of cars. He also saw people wearing dresses and suits. There were photographers taking pictures of everyone who was arriving at the Lighthouse Gala. These pictures would be in the newspaper for people to see. The Lighthouse Gala is the kind of event that people like to read about. His heart was beating fast as he thought about Olivia coming to the place by herself. He had wanted to go get her. She wanted to come alone. She said, "I need to do this my way," and he understood that, even though it scared him a lot. He was worried about Olivia facing all these things without him being with her. Inside the ballroom, Derek was talking to his friends, holding a glass of champagne and looking very pleased with himself. "I bet you $10 that she will not even come," he said. Derek made another bet, "I bet you $20 that if she does come she will wear something bad." Derek liked making bets about people and his friends liked to join in. Derek thought it was funny to make fun of what people wore. Catherine Chen was wearing a red silk dress and had diamonds on. She looked really elegant. Catherine Chen raised one of her eyebrows. "You are all being very mean to someone you do not really know," Catherine Chen said. "Oh, come on, Catherine. You have got to be curious to see what happens with this mess." Derek looked around the room. Where is Sterling anyway? He is probably still trying to talk her out of coming to this thing. Something changed in the room at that moment. The energy in the room was different. People stopped talking all of a. They just stopped. Everyone turned to look at the entrance. A person was standing in the doorway. The grand entrance was where this person was standing. They were framed in the doorway. Olivia had gotten ready for a lot of things. The complete silence when she got there was not one of them. Everyone in the room looked at her at the time, and for a moment Olivia almost turned around and ran away. Then she thought about what her mother had told her, and she thought about James believing in her, and most of all she thought about who Olivia was, not just the person she pretended to be every day as an assistant. Olivia was more than an assistant, and she needed to remember that. She walked forward smoothly, her head held high and a peaceful look on her face, even though she was feeling a lot of things inside. The dark blue dress moved around her like water when she walked, and it caught the light with every step she took. Her hair was pulled back in a style which showed off the simple pearl earrings that belonged to her grandmother. The midnight blue dress and the pearl earrings looked really nice on her. The midnight blue dress was a color, and it looked great with the pearl earrings that had been her grandmother's. The woman was not just noticed for the way she looked. It was also because of the confidence that she had. You could see the intelligence in her eyes. The way she looked around the room was really something. She did not look like she was trying to scare people. Instead, she looked like she was really interested in what was going on. The woman looked like she belonged in the room. This was because at that moment she really believed that she did belong there. The woman had this confidence that made her seem like she was supposed to be in the room with the people. Derek's champagne glass stopped moving before he was going to take a drink. Catherine Chen's eyes got really big. She looked at him with what seemed like actual respect. People started whispering to each other away, but they sounded surprised instead of making fun of Derek. The whispers were about Derek and what he had just done. Catherine Chen was still looking at Derek with that same look of respect on her face. Someone said that loud. Who is that? That's Sterling's assistant? She's absolutely stunning. James saw her from across the room. A big smile spread across his face. It was a happy smile. He started walking towards Olivia, making his way through all the people. Olivia was already talking to Senator Richardson. Senator Richardson is a friend to Sterling Global Industries. James wanted to talk to Olivia. Senator Richardson got to her first. The senator said to me, "You must be Miss Morgan." He was being really nice. James has said a lot of things about the work that Miss Morgan does. The senator understood that Miss Morgan was very important in getting the Singapore deal to happen. Olivia shook the senator's hand easily. The basics were already in place, Senator. I just helped the people involved talk to each other. This person is really modest and also very capable. It is really great to see someone like that in the business world these days. He turned to his wife. Said, "Margaret, come and meet James, Sterling's assistant. She is really brilliant." Olivia found herself surrounded by people who really wanted to talk to her within a minute. They did not talk down to her. Olivia talked about money and the country with a treasury secretary. She also talked about houses and buildings with a rich person who owned a lot of property. The ambassador from Thailand told a story about getting the wrong hotel room in Bangkok, and Olivia found herself laughing at the story about the hotel mix-up. Olivia was having a time talking to all these people, like the ambassador from Thailand and the former treasury secretary. James finally got to her side. You could tell he was really proud of himself. "I see you are doing okay without me," James said. She asked him in a voice, "Were you worried?" and she took the champagne that he gave to her. "I am really scared. I should have known better. I mean, I should have seen this coming with the situation and everything. The thing that is bothering me is that I did not think things through. This situation is making me feel terrified. I do not like that feeling at all. The situation is what is making me feel this way. I wish I could change it, but I do not know if that is possible." Derek walked up to me with Catherine Chen. He did not seem sure of himself as he had before. Derek said, "You are Olivia, are you not? I do not think we have met officially. My name is Derek Hammond. I should introduce myself to you, Olivia." "Yes, we met briefly in James' office." Olivia sounded really nice. You could tell she was not happy underneath. "You had some concerns about my attendance tonight, as I recall." Derek had the decency to look a little uneasy. He said, "I was probably too quick to make up my mind about things. I guess I judged people too fast. My judgments were not right." Catherine spoke up with a smile. "You are not really sure, are you?" she said to Derek. "Derek, you were betting on whether Olivia would do something." Just admit it, Derek. Then Catherine turned to Olivia. My name is Catherine Chen. I am sorry for the way the people in our group are acting. They forget to be polite when they think they are, with friends like they can say whatever they want to Olivia. No apology is needed, Olivia said. Low expectations are good. Low expectations are a lot easier to do than. Olivia thinks that low expectations are helpful because you can easily do more than people think you will do with expectations. James tried not to laugh when Derek's face turned really red. The evening went on. Olivia did a great job with every social thing that came up. She got more and more confident. Olivia danced with James. They talked really easily, just like they did when they were in his office. Olivia was actually having a good time at the party. Something big happened when we were halfway through eating dinner. The crisis erupted. Vincent Wu, the CEO of Pacific Rim Investments, got up from his table fast. He was clearly very angry. His face was red. He was speaking Cantonese very quickly. He was yelling at the person who organized the event. Vincent Wu was upset about a problem with a contract. He thought someone had been very disrespectful to his culture. Vincent Wu and Pacific Rim Investments are very important to Sterling Global's plans in Asia. The coordinator looked really scared. It was clear that he did not understand what was being said. A few people tried to help. They did not speak the same language, and Wu was getting more and more upset. Wu started to get his friends to leave with him. James turned white. If Wu walks out, we will lose the Pacific Rim deal, he said to Olivia. That is a lot of money, $200 million. It means we will not get into 3 new markets. The Pacific Rim deal is really important to us, and losing it would be very bad. We need the Pacific Rim deal to move forward with our plans. Olivia got up. Walked right over to Vincent Wu's table. She gave a bow like people do in the old way and started talking to him in perfect Cantonese. Her voice was polite. You could tell she meant what she said. Olivia spoke to Vincent Wu in a respectful tone, but she was also firm when she talked to Vincent Wu. The ballroom fell silent again. This time it was because people were really surprised. Wu just stopped talking. Stared at Olivia, this young woman who was speaking to him in his own language. Olivia kept talking. She was very calm and sounded like she knew what she was doing. Sometimes she looked at something on her phone. The ballroom was still quiet. Olivia was still talking to Wu in his language. James moved closer because he really wanted to know what was going on. Catherine Chen leaned in to whisper to him. She said she is telling him that something was wrong with the translation in the contract. It is about the money and the time of year. She is showing him the papers and the new papers that are correct. The lady is explaining that there was a mistake with the quarters and the calendar quarters. Catherine Chen spoke Mandarin. She was not very good at Cantonese. She was trying to help James understand what the lady was saying. The lady was showing James the documents and the corrected version of the contract. James was listening carefully to what Catherine Chen was saying about the contract and the translation error. For 5 tense minutes Olivia and Vincent Wu talked about the matter completely in Cantonese. At first Vincent Wu looked really angry. Then his face started to change. He began to understand what Olivia was saying. After that Vincent Wu looked like he actually respected Olivia. Then Vincent Wu nodded his head, said something to Olivia that made her smile, and sat down with the people he was with, Vincent Wu and his party. Olivia went back to the table. She was still very calm. You could tell she was feeling excited inside though. She said to James in a voice, "The problem is solved. There was a mistake about when the money was supposed to be paid." Olivia showed the man the papers and told him that the people who handle the money had already changed the schedule to what he wanted. The man is happy now. Olivia said all this to James so he would know what happened with the payment timelines and the man. James looked at her. Do you speak Cantonese? She also knows Mandarin, Spanish and French enough to have conversations in these languages. This is helpful because the company works with people from different countries. She said this in an ordinary way, like learning 4 new languages is something people usually do when they are not busy with other things. You never told me about this. I am wondering why you did not mention this before. I want to know why you did not talk about this thing. What is the reason you never said anything about this? Olivia looked at him. You never asked me, she said. To be honest, I found out that being really good at something can be a problem. It is just as bad as not being good enough. People like their assistants to be good at their job. They do not want them to be too good. They want them to be competent, but not so competent that they become a threat. Olivia thought about this for a moment. People prefer their assistants to be okay, but not great. That way the assistants do not make the people in charge feel bad about themselves. Olivia met his eyes again. People prefer their assistants to be competent but not threatening, she said slowly. I did not think that you were being threatening all. You did not seem like someone who was trying to scare me. The things you said did not make me feel like you were threatening me. Would you have done that? She asked this question in a way without blaming anyone. If you had known I had a Columbia MBA, that I could speak languages and that I had good ideas about how to do things, would you have given me the job as your assistant? Would you have thought I was trying to take your place as the person in charge of making big decisions at your company because I had a Columbia MBA and could speak many languages and had good strategic insights? The question was just sitting there between them. It was really hard to answer it without saying some things that would be hard to hear about James and his ego and how power was affecting their relationship. James did not even get a chance to say anything. Then Vincent Wu came over to their table. Thank you for watching the story.